Cheers. It's been a little while since I hosted one of these live streams. Good to see y'all here. Happy to be here. I don't know if I'm going to do another live stream 2 weeks from now. Just a heads up, because holidays. We'll see. But I wanted to have one today because, wow, it's been a while. How y'all doing? Shout it out in the live chat. Let me know how y'all are doing. I was going to be joined by my roommate Alex today, but some things have happened with some friends of ours. So she's going to go and check in on them and make sure that they're doing okay. Morning, Jessica. Afternoon, morning, afternoon. Good day. It's good to see you again. So we're just going to be hanging out and doodling and idle chit-chatting, and also sipping tea. Today's selection is, I don't remember what exact name this tea is. Yeah, I hope, well, they'll be okay. It's been a rough couple of days for them. I'm not going to get into too much detail about it. But I said that I was going to be doing this live stream, so that is why I am here and not with Alex. But Alex is going to be dropping off cookies for them anyway, and all of that jazz. So she's going to check in on them. But yeah, not to get into too many details about it. Speaking of like letting you in on updates and things, though, the last live stream that I was in, I had mentioned that I was going to go to a party to draw caricatures. Wanted to let you know that party did not happen. The organizer canceled the party for very obvious reasons. And I gave him a call and I was like, you did a smart thing. Thank you for doing that. So maybe next year, but we'll see. That's actually something that I want to talk about is next year goals. Okay. Sorry, I felt my phone vibrate. I thought that Kia, writer of Seeing Him, one of the comics that I did, link in the description. The link in the description is my link tree. I'll go ahead and put that up on the screen too. That way, if you want to read any of my comics, you can just go to Linktree, click the website, and they're all there. But yeah, my sisters and I have been talking back and forth via text. I just needed to see like if she was sending anything new. But I brought up New Year's goals. I'll talk about, yeah. Hi, Solar Flare. Stop being an underrated member of my audience. Jeez. Okay, so New Year's goals, actually. And also, just to make things a little more exciting, I'm going to bring up a piece of art on Clip Studio Paint. That way there's something besides my face that you could look at. Let's go into fan art, actually, because I've been doing a thing on Instagram called DBcember, because as my roommate Alex can attest, I love Dragon Ball. Last night, there was just repeats of like right around 1 a.m. I just bust into her room and I'm like, and here's another thing I love about Dragon Ball Fighters, and go into a spiel. That's been me for the last week. So letting you know. But I wanted to do DBcember as like Dragon Ball Sember. I mean, not an original idea. Team 4-Star started that one, but I wanted to do it because I was like, you know what? I love Dragon Ball, man. I want to show my love for Dragon Ball. So I'm going to draw up some characters. Actually, I'm going to bring up this piece. You'll see which piece I'm talking about in a second as soon as I hit the screen share. But I wanted to bring that one up because it's almost done. Piccolo is Gohan's real father. Changed my mind. He is also Pan's real grandfather. Let's be real. Like, there's actual cutscenes in Dragon Ball Fighters where, like, Goku even admits, and he's talking with Tien about it, and Tien's like, maybe you shouldn't say stuff like that to people. And Goku's like, what? But why not? I'm so proud of him for being such a good grandpa. He keeps joking that he makes a better grandpa than I do. And Tien's like, well, Piccolo has an image. We don't want to ruin his image. And I'm just like, this is the character stuff that I live for in fighters. Hi, Carlos. I see you in the comments. yeah, Jessica. Yeah, it's been me for like the last week. All right, here we go. Gonna add this in and blow that up. Cool. This is what I've been working on for the better part of a couple of days in between work-related stuff. Because I really want to play this character in Fighters because holy crap, his moveset looks really freaking cool. Also, as it turns out, it looks like his supers are easier to execute than Cell's, which is really saying something. Which is unfortunate because I really wanted to main Cell in Dragon Ball Fighters. I really wanted Cell to be like my primary character whom I fought as. But as it turns out, as it turns out though, Cell's super special attacks are really hard to execute because you have to be so far away from the opponent, and then you have to hit the directional buttons just right, and it's already enough of a pain in the butt to execute some of those button maneuvers, and it's just not that big of a fan. Although, like, he is fun to hear talk, because Damian Clark does a really good job with the what's the word? Not Foley. Pain reacts. That's the word. Janemba! Yes, he's one of my favorite movie villains, if not my favorite movie villain. Like, for me, he tops Beerus. Like, I don't know if I would call Beerus a villain as much as an antagonist. But, like, Janemba is a villain. He's the embodiment of all evil that was washed out of people because of the spirit laundry machine. That is what it's actually called. And that's the premise of the movie is, there's a spirit laundry machine that washes out all of the evil from the souls of hell. And unfortunately, the tank got overloaded and it exploded, and there's Janemba. That's the premise. That's the premise of the movie. That is how Janemba came into being. It's so stupid, but I love it. If you ever wonder why Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is the way that it is, just ask yourself, is it funny? Then Akira Toriyama would put it in a movie, or Akira Toriyama would put it in the story, because his primary motivation is, if it makes people laugh, put it in there. So, yeah. That's why Janemba has a lot of what he has. I don't remember what color I was using to shade him, so I'm going to turn off some layers. Okay. That was close. I actually need to add a little bit more shadow here. I'm not done shading him completely. And then I'm going to add some highlights in. I'm also going to see about adding a little bit more texture, because I'll zoom in a little bit. Something that Akira Toriyama likes to do is add these kind of like lines to give a little more dimension and depth to 3D objects. So I'm going to be doing that as well after I add a little bit more shadows in some places. I'm just going to do some like broad stroke shading for a hot second. And then I'll like go in and add some more detail where it's needed, remove detail where it's needed, etc., etc. Easiest way to imply depth when you are shading something is like, I've seen some beginners, excuse me, I've seen some beginners like shade something and they'll like go all the way to the edges. But if you want something to look somewhat 3D-ified, don't go all the way to the edge. Just like do something a little bit more like this, or like what's going on with his hip right here, or like the back of his neck right here. Like, be sure that you add a little bit of like the original color there and don't color all the way to the edge. That helps it give it more of a like a 3D look. A little harder to execute on his arms, but for other parts of the body, like, yeah. There we go. I'm going to have a sip of tea. The tea I'm drinking today is a Lipton kind. It's something that the box says is supposed to help with stress. It's some kind of chamomile mix. I don't remember for sure. I'd have to grab the box and look at it. Nah. Let's try that again. There we go. And if you're ever looking at this and wondering, oh my God, Kelsey, how can you draw such smooth looking lines and not hit the undo button like 15 times? Just draw caricatures for 3 years. That's a good start. I missed a spot. Hold on. There we go. I missed another spot. How did I miss these spots? There's that one. I would like to apologize on behalf of my neighbors. They like to walk around really, really heavy footsteps. Okay. And of course, where I left off in the shading stage with this illustration of Janemba means that I have to shade in his crotch. Good job, past me. Nope, that's not the color I needed. There we go. Oh, the sword needs a little touching up. I found out that Janemba's sword is called the Rakshasa's Claw, and the D&D player heart of myself is so jazzed that that is the name of the sword. Let's be real, though. It's also the Critical Role loving side of my heart being like, Rakshasa! About it. Which, okay, I'm going to give a shout out to a YouTuber. His name is Tulok the Barbarian. And what he does is he takes pop culture characters and he builds them in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition so that you can play your favorite pop culture character in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. He did a build for Goku recently from Dragon Ball Z and did not go in the direction that I thought that it would. He built Goku not as a monk, because monk is obvious. No, he built Goku with like 1 or 2 levels in monk, and then all subsequent levels he was sorcerer. And I'm like, what? I'm taking a look at the comments, and first of all, good to see you, Ben. Also, undo button is love, undo button is life, worship undo button. I don't know if I would go that far. I like the eraser tool, but probably because my tablet pen actually has like a little nubbin that works for the eraser function. So I like that one a lot more than the worship button. I love that there's this like all caps worship undo button, and Jessica's just over here like, hey Ben. I love you guys. You're awesome. Yeah, can't hang out for the whole stream, but at least wanted to say hi. Well, hi Ben. Thank you for joining us for a little bit. At some point, CB will also join us in the chat, but I don't know when exactly. She's been dealing with some stuff as well. Everybody's dealing with some stuff. Knowing that, I'm actually glad that I'm running this live stream just to help keep people's minds off of the stuff that's going on right now. If there's any little way that I can help you like cope. Oh yeah, this is a little trick I found out about before. So if you're working in Clip Studio Paint, particularly the newest editions, one easy way that you can go about using the paint bucket tool to fill in large swaths of surfaces is you just, well, first I'm going to fill in some of the gaps. And then the shortcut for the paint bucket tool is G, but you got to tap it twice. And then you click refer other layers over here in the settings. And then you just press it down and drag it. And there you go. That is the easiest way to fill in large swaths of multiple spots with the paint bucket tool. It is super handy. To be blunt, I have learned a lot more tricks with Clip Studio Paint since I started working with Neverending back in February of this year. Holy crap, I've been working with Neverending since February of this year. What the hey? This year has been bonkers. Which, by the way, speaking of Neverending, Neverending is a startup I've been working with recently as the lead artist and character designer. We launched our app. Neverending is looking to revolutionize how you create and share stories. If you want to check that out, go to beneverending.com. The character builder is live. We are working on making a scene builder and a story builder next, with support from the audience. Stay tuned for more. Also, the easiest way to find out about Neverending is to go to my link tree and click on Neverending. Link is on the screen and also in the description. This is how a new digital artist uses undo. Crap, undo, crap, undo, crap, undo, crap, undo. That looks right. Undo. You're not wrong. That's not inaccurate. Stuff 2020. Yes. When you've been working on a character for 3 months and forgot how to interact with other humans, right? You feel me. You feel me. Work has been frustrating and depressing. This is awesome. Well, you're awesome. Thank you. Definitely been doing my best to look after my many friends. Digital hugs to everyone. Carlos, you're the best. Fill the gaps. Fill the gaps. Does it feel never ending? I see what you did there. Sometimes, yes. Like, it definitely has its own particular flavors of crap, but it's worth it in the end. Considering we launched our beta like a couple weeks ago, and it's been doing really, really well, and people are digging it. And I'm so happy that they're digging the beta. If you want to check out the beta, link in the link tree or in the description. Check it out. I'll still be here. Okay. Oh, You know what? Now would be a good time to actually show another trick with Clip Studio Paint. I'm going to pull up a reference sketch for Janemba here because I don't remember how the sword is shaded exactly. So, okay. We're just going to hit open and we're going to go into reference art. That was weird. It sounded like the door was about to open, but I was like, Alex shouldn't be back by now. Like, the friends that she's off to visit are far away right now. We're going to go into Dragon Ball, and I did not sort these in any semblance of order. This is dumb. Why did you do this past me? It's in the J's. There it is. Okay. This one or this one? I'm going to bring up both. There we go. Okay. So we got the reference art up, and we're going to grab this here, and we're going to pull this over to the side, and then it does this split screens thing. And it's so handy because now this means I have reference art on one side. Zoom in a little bit. And I have the art that I'm working on this side. So now I can just flip back and forth between the two. And it's like, yay, this is so much easier. It's also really easy if you're working on multiple things at once so that you have one piece of art in one screen and another piece of art in the other screen. And boom. So much nicer. Okay. I'm just going to zoom in here. Okay. I hope y'all find these tips for Clip Studio Paint useful. I've not actually done tutorial videos per se. I have considered doing blog posts about how to work with Clip Studio Paint in these sorts of ways, though videos might be easier. We'll see. I think Photoshop can do the split screen thing, but it risks screwing up your entire setup. Yeah, that's why I like what Clip Studio Paint does. Apparently, too, Clip Studio Paint rolled out a new feature, a time-lapse feature. So I have not given it a try yet, but I have seen Koala Squid on Instagram use the feature, and oh my gosh, it looks so cool. So one day I will give it a try, and then I will post the results up on Instagram, and we will see how it goes. Let's see here. There we go. And okay. Fill the gap. Fill the gap. There we go. And look, I know that there are artists out there who are like, look, I don't want to shade art by using the multiply layer and setting it to a particular opacity and using only one color, but I'm going to ignore them because it is the easiest shading trick that I know, and I'm going to use it. Also, it beats having to like color pick each thing that you're working on, each area of the piece that you're working on, and then trying to find its complementary color. Like, that's time consuming. Well, let's do the broad strokes real quick before we get into the ridges. Why does Janemba have ridges on his legs and arms? I don't freaking know. It's a feature of his. Fun fact for those of you who are like me and like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, apparently Janemba is one of Akira Toriyama's favorite villain designs. And I don't think Toriyama had anything to do with this design. I think he gave some like pointers, and then he just let the artists at Toei have free reign over it. Also, fun fact, Toei Animation, the people who produce Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, pretty much anything Dragon Ball related, they also make the art for, they also produce Sailor Moon, One Piece, and a bunch of other stuff. The mascot for Toei Animation was designed by Hayao Miyazaki. I am dropping all kinds of fun facts on you. There we go. We're going to go back up into this one and we're going to tweak it a little bit. I'm just going to erase and redo this line. There we go. You know what? And there we go. Okay. A bit better. Yeah, we'll leave that line there and shaboom. Missed a spot, so filling that in. Okay. And here's what I'm going to do to handle this part. I'm just going to bring up the marquee. So you hit M for marquee, and then you select lasso, and then trace around the area that you want to shade, and boom. Handy dandy. Okay, I got a fun fact for you about Janemba here. So the voice actor who plays Janemba in the English dub also does the voice of Hohenheim in both Full Metal Alchemist animes and the voice of Dr. Gero in Dragon Ball Z Kai. That said, Janemba doesn't say proper words. He just grunts and does other like pain reacts and grunts and things, which is really unfortunate. I would love to hear Janemba talk. Especially knowing that the voice actor for Hohenheim does his voice. Okay, how's that looking? Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. Okay. Looking pretty good so far. We're just gonna get the marquee tool back up here. There we go. Might go in here. There we go. Nah, I'll leave that be. And okay, now I can start adding the highlights. So we're just going to Control-Shift-N for new layer. And then we're going to name this one highlights. For this one, oh gosh, I do not remember what setting is best for this one. Not normal, because normal is going to like affect the inks, or maybe normal. Because usually whenever I do colors, I have the color layer over the inks and I have the color set to multiply, but I did not do that this time because the paper color is this tan color. And I wanted to do that to like save my eyeballs. So highlights. let's do something different and keep the highlight layer as normal 100%. And we'll start doing it color by color. I'm just going to move that color cursor over this direction and boom. Crap. There we go. Trying really hard not to swear. Oh, there's a boo-boo in a box off screen. I heard noise and I was like, what? It's a cat. Do you find that multiply works differently in Clip Studio Paint? Everything looks slightly different than it does in Photoshop, and I don't know why. Oh, he elaborates. When using multiply for shading, are you using black or the complementary color of the light, usually purple? It really depends on the piece for me. I'll swear for you. Thank you, Carlos. So when I use multiply for shading, I usually go with the complementary color of the light. That's my usual default. So with the complementary color of the light for this Janemba piece, I looked for the complementary color for the background and took a look at the color wheel, and I was like, okay, so the complement of this kind of off yellow looking brown is this teal looking color. So I'll go with a really dark teal. And then I set the layer to multiply opacity at 35%, because any higher than that and it looks pretty black, and I don't shade with black if I can avoid it. I usually mess with the different light settings and about 50% opacity, soft light most often. Yeah. It really depends on what kind of look I'm going for with how I do lights. Because of how the layers are structured in this particular piece, I just left it at normal because the ink layer is already on top of everything else. If the ink layer was at the bottom, I would change it. But right now, everything is at normal. Or like the layer settings are quote unquote normal. But if I was shading, they would probably change to something like lighten or screen, depending on what effect I was going for. When I painted fire effects for The Legend of Jamie Roberts, most of those were screen at some varying opacity. I forgot to shade in his eyes, so I'm going to do that really quick. Turning off a couple of the color layers. There we go. Because if I tried to like color select as the colors are right now, and I do that, it's going to pop up with a color that's not what I'm looking for. So turn off the layers so that the background is transparent and the shade layer is visible. And then I just color sample that, and boom, that's the color that I need. And if at any point you're working on this thing and you're like, I wonder if this looks okay when mirrored, you just go over to the navigator window in the top right. This little button here says flip horizontal. Boom. There you go. Flips the entire piece horizontally. This is a good way to catch if there's something like not proportionally sound. But when I was in the sketching stage for this, I caught most of the errors. Looking at it now, though, I could probably tweak this horn a little bit more. So I'm going to do that real quick. Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to tweak that horn a little bit. So I'm just going to turn the color flat layers off and the highlight layer off. That was not the one I wanted. There we go. Boom. Okay, now we're at the ink layer. The ink layer is the only thing that's visible, and we're actually going to use the marquee selection pen, and we are going to widen the brush size a little bit and select what we're going to work with. And we're going to move that down a skosh. And over. Down and over a bit. Yeah. Okay, so how's that looking? Flip of the tool. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That works. Okay, flip it back over, and we're just going to fix up the lines a little bit. Okay. Move up to this part and erase this. Touch up this. And there we go. Okay. And then this is another trick that I learned working with Neverending. So because we did that with the horn, there's going to be colors and effects that are going to be off center. Easiest way to fix that is going to be you hit the wand tool, have it refer to all layers, and then you hit the background. Then you turn the color flat layer back on, and then you hit delete. Nope, it was on the ink layer. Make sure that the color flat layer is highlighted, and then you hit delete, and boom, edit fixed. I'm going to turn on the highlight layer. The highlight layer, this little line is a little doofy now, so we're delete, and boom, fixed. Boop, there we go. Okay, I'm going to go back into the highlight layer, and I'm going to put the highlight back in this part of the horn. Boop. Okay. Go back into the highlights layer, and I'm actually going to rotate the canvas a little bit and make this a little easier on my wrist. So you go up into the navigator, and you can navigate the bar this way, or you can hit this little button. When you hit this little button, it rotates left or right in increments of 5 degrees. So if you want like more wild control, you just use this little navigator bar, and then you can be at like 30.9 or boom, 35. We're going to have it at 35 for a second just to make this easier on my wrist. My wrist has been acting up this morning. There we go. To correct it back to its original orientation, you just go to this, reset rotation, and boom, done. So that was an easy enough fix. Turn the shade layer back on. Okay, it's not too bad. Forgot to add the color back in on the color flat layer though, so we're gonna fix that. And then we're gonna go back into shades and fix the shade layer. Boom. And boom. There we go. Okay. That too. And there we have it. Horns have been adjusted. I'm going to catch up on comments real quick. Okay. No new comments. That's fine. Okay. Let me go back to the sword, make sure that all the details on the sword. Okay, the shadows are mostly fine. I missed a spot. Oh, Carlos, while I'm thinking about it, don't forget to take care of yourself, man. Like, I know that you're a super helpful and mostly selfless dude, but like, don't forget to take care of yourself, man. It doesn't do anybody any good if you're helping everybody else and then you burn yourself out. Okay, put that there. And okay, now we're going back to highlights, and we're gonna actually do a different color for the highlights for this one. Boom. That could be a little darker. That's better-ish. Yeah. Okay. I could go into this reference image and then just color sample this and then bring it over to this side over here. And that works sometimes. Just depends on the color effect that you're looking for. This is one of those instances where it's super helpful to have like a refined artist eye to be like, does this color look right? We're actually going to rotate this a bit just to make sure that everything's all hunky-dory over here. Ship them. There we go. Phone vibrated. It's probably not important. I keep getting notifications for things I don't care about. Usually on other phones, you could just turn notifications off. Not with this one. You either have to put it on silent or you have to like remove apps altogether. Like you can't really shush notifications on apps with this phone. It's annoying. Yeah, there we go. Nope, that was not the color I wanted. That wasn't it either. There we are. Let's try that again. There. Yes, there we go. We're just going to see how this looks. I may or may not keep these highlights on his knuckles here. Reset. You know what? I'll leave those there. Why not? Looks good. Looks good to me anyway. Oh. I was highlighting his skin. We're going to take care of the other highlights on his skin while we have this color picked out. All right, how's that look? Okay, not bad, not bad. Oh, we have to highlight his abs. Like, who is Janemba without showing off his midriff? That's just what he do. There's a surprising amount of characters in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z who show off their midriff. It's kind of hilarious. I'm actually going to go back in here and whoop. You know, I would not be surprised if it turned out that there were some artists at Toei who worked on this property who were actually gay the entire time. It's kind of like how over at Disney, the guy who did the character design for Gaston was gay. And that's why Gaston is such a gay icon. Would not be surprised if something similar happened over at Toei as well. Here we go. You might notice Janemba has no nose. he is one of those rare characters in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z that does not have a nose. You might think this is an egregious oversight. It's not. It's something very deliberate on Akira Toriyama's part. Other notable characters that have no nose, Krillin. Krillin does not have a nose. And then Toriyama tried to like retroactively explain how it is that Krillin can breathe even though he has no nose. To which I say, don't worry about it. It's Dragon Ball. You don't have to explain everything. This isn't Harry Potter. Like Harry Potter, I feel like a lot of the magic of Harry Potter has been detracted since what's her face? J.K. Rowling keeps popping in and being like, actually, and it's like, no, we didn't need an explanation for that. Actually, I'm going to correct the colors here. So here's an easy way to correct colors without affecting anything else. So you go into the layer functions over here. See this part? Lock transparent pixels. Boom. Now the highlight layer has that little symbol next to it, which means if I try to draw outside of the indicated colors, nothing happens. But, boom, fixed. I love it. Yeah. Then we're going to turn that off, and we're going to go back to putting highlights on his skin. Before I do, I'm going to catch up on comments. Highlight the abs. Highlight abs. Highlight abs. Yes. Dragon Ball crop tops. I want those now. I knows what you see there. Yep. Mouth breather. Technically, yeah. But you don't have to worry about it. It's Dragon Ball. Not everything needs explained. It's Dragon Ball. It's fantasy. It's fine. The first ever wish ever made in Dragon Ball was Oolong saving the world by stepping in and being like, I wish for the panties of a hot babe! Like, that's what this series is. Like, everything that people associate with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, all the screaming and the muscles and the power levels and stuff, that was all in, like, one arc of the story. And then everything after that is just, like, power levels of bullshit. Like, they does not matter. I know I just swore, but, like, really, power levels don't matter in the Dragon Ball Z universe. Like, the villains make a big deal out of power levels, but the heroes don't. I missed a couple spots, so I'm going to just fix a couple things real quick. Boom. Turn some layers back on. There we go. There was a spot right here. It was annoying me, so I fixed it. Oh! Highlight. Did I highlight the... Yes, I did. That color is up here. So we're just going to color sample that, and we'll use that for down here. Okay, so we got that. I missed a spot over here too. Freaking spots. Yeah, there we go. Actually going to draw this more like a hatch marquise. Whoop. Keep it somewhat stylistically consistent. Nope. Just getting up into his skin. We did not need that. That's better. Nope. I need to rotate the canvas for this one. There we go. That's better. And I missed another spot. I keep missing spots. Okay. It's a color flat spot that I missed. There we go. Reset rotation. Going back into the highlights layer, getting this color back. Nah. Nope. That's fine. Are his collarbones highlighted? I'm going to check the reference art. Okay, kinda. Kinda. Yeah. Ideally, this is how you would use references as like a, I wonder if this particular part even has highlights to it. And then you look and then you're like, ah, there is. Yeah. Pretty darn good. Toriyama's art, though, he has this tendency to like smush the mouths up towards the eyes and nose on all of his characters, not just in Nemba. Don't know why that is. I'm going to touch up the shadows in this kind of armpit area really quick. Shade that there. There we go. There we are. Okay, now we're going to go back in here and shoop. Yes. There we go. That's a bit better. I need to pause for a hot second. I keep getting text messages, and I just want to make sure that everything's okay. Okay, yeah. Nothing super duper important. It's just my sister's having a chat amongst themselves in the group chat, and I keep getting notifications for it. And I'm just like, but I want to draw my demon muscles. Let me be. Okay. Now that we've touched up the shadows a little bit in and there, we're going to go back to highlights. Oop. In there. Maybe. Right in there. No. We're just going to leave that alone. Yeah. If we really wanted to add some like 3D depth-ishness to it, then we would get some of the highlights and we would add them back here over top the shadow layer, and then boom. Sparingly. There is such a thing as working that a little too much. But if you do it just right, like, look at that. It's so good. Look at that. I love how that turned out. I do need to get into the shadow layer again to get this so that I can touch this up. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. And we're going to grab the highlight color up here and add that on this part. Yes. I love how this is turning out. I have no idea what my neighbors are shouting about, but I would like to apologize because my neighbors are shouting. There we go. It kind of works. There. That works better. Coolios. Nah, I don't like how that looked. That's better. Oh, we're going to grab the highlight colors from the red. We're going to add that in here. Oh, missed these spots. There we go. And I missed a spot in shading as well. There we go. Fixed. Highlights. Okay. Back to shading in the red parts. Yeah. I'm liking how that's turning out. I'm going to go into the hand here and add a little more highlights in around here. There we go. How's that looking? I'm not sold. So lasso, circle, delete. Okay. Easiest way to delete anything in Clip Studio Paint is to just get the lasso tool, circle around whatever it is that you want to get rid of, and then you hit delete, and boom, done. Catching up on comments real quick. That's my first wish. And I got to duck out to get ready for my live stream. Good watching you draw. It's been a while. Rock on and never stop drawing. Thank you, Ben. Good luck with your live stream. Yes, Ben is going to be hosting a live stream over on his channel. He's going to be talking with a musician friend of his. Check that out. Just go to BWH Comics on YouTube and boom. The link is also on his Instagram. If you go to Instagram.com/BWH Comics, he's got a link for you there too. There we go. That works. I don't know about this spot though. Here we are. Full disclosure, I will probably be wrapping up the live stream in like 15 to 30 minutes. I wanted to keep today's session relatively short. Oh, that's just straight white. If that's the case, then I'm just going to go into the shade layer and erase some spots to put highlights where I want them. Yeah, there we go. That works. Yeah. I dig it. I'm going to go in here and do the same thing. Boom. Oh, I need to go back into highlights, pick out that sword highlight there, and there. That works. Oh, I'm going to touch it up over here as well. Like, I know that the original reference material has like an even darker shade over here, but I'm not going to work with that. Boom. Okay, he's coming together pretty well, honestly. We're going to save the progress. Link for Ben's live stream. I'm assuming it popped up on YouTube. I'm not seeing it in the StreamYard interface, so hopefully it appeared on YouTube. But thank you for giving that a shout out there, Jessica. I'm sorry, I got to catch up on texts again. Just sister talk. It's fine. I'm going to wrap my wrist in a brace. And I'm actually going to close out the program because this is acting up and I'm going to give it a break. So with that, we're just going to remove. And okay. So we'll wrap this up here shortly. Considering. I keep bringing it up. I brought it up at the start of the live stream and I keep hinting at it. So I'm just going to briefly mention New Year's goals. Especially since I'm probably not going to do a live stream 2 weeks from now. We'll see. Keep an eye on my social media in my link tree for any further announcements about that. But New Year's goals, I've been thinking about them and I've been doing my best to instill some of the habits that I want to bring into New Year's. Because really what I want 2021 to be all about is growth. And it's going to be a while before conventions resume in person. I just know this. Even the news about the vaccine taking off as well as it has, like, it's going to be a while before conventions resume. So with that said, Ben and CB and I actually talked about the future of Comic Cons in a previous live stream. And you can see that by going to my YouTube channel because it's archived and you can watch it there. That said, again, it's going to be a long while before we have in-person conventions. So more than likely, we're going to be having either online events or some kind of like hybrid model where there might be some stuff in person, but there's going to be stuff online as well. So thinking about that is making me consider how it is that I want to grow things in 2021. Because next year I want the highlight word to be just growth. This is a concept from CGP Grey on YouTube where he talks about if you want to set a New Year's goal, try doing this instead. And the thing that he advocates for is choosing like a highlight word and focusing your goals around that highlight word and then tracking your progress that way, rather than setting something like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in some odd months. Like, because there are just some factors with the wording of a goal like that that are outside of your control. So, for example, if I tried to tell myself I'm going to earn an extra $100 a month through coffee by June, there's a lot of things that are outside of my control with that goal. So it's a little unrealistic to set something like that. I think. I mean, if there's a way to go about that, let me know. But I would rather just focus on the word growth, because then it's like, even if you don't reach, for example, $100 raised on coffee, but you end up raising like half that amount or even like a quarter, that's still growth, and that's still worth celebrating. So I just want to keep things a little looser for next year. Here's the other thing about New Year's goals. Over on my blog, which you can read through the link tree in the description, I've been posting about my New Year's goals every year since 2015, talking about reflecting on the previous year's goals and then thinking about the following year's goals. I went through those blog posts and I wrote stuff down to be like, okay, what was the goal? What were the goals for this year? Did I achieve them? If not, is this a goal that I want to pursue in 2021? As it turns out, a lot of those previous goals were either accomplished already, or if I did not accomplish them, it was due to factors outside of my control, or I just wasn't that jazzed about them. So, knowing that, next year, I want my goal word to be growth, not just in like an income sense, but also in like an audience sense. And I think there's a few different ways to go about achieving the growth that I want to achieve. So keep an eye out for any further news about that. So I'm going to be growing that. I want to grow my art library. I want to grow my online store, which we'll see what happens with the online store. It may move off of Store Envy again. It might stay on Store Envy for a while. I haven't decided yet, but keep an eye out for any further developments about that as well. Right now, I'm keeping it on Store Envy for the holidays to make things easier for you to place your orders. Which, while I'm thinking about it, if you would like me to draw a commission for you, place your order no later than December 18th. I deliver my commission orders digitally so that you don't have to worry about shipping, but I still have to draw them. So if you would like me to draw a custom piece of art for you for the holidays, check out the link tree, click on coffee, because my coffee page has commissions and all of my prices are listed there. Prices, samples, all that jazz. Carlos says, my theme, unleash. Yes, unleash all the things. I look forward to seeing what that means for you and how that manifests. That's awesome. Excuse me. Yeah. I would elaborate further, but I feel like I've said everything that I needed to say about the New Year's goals. If you have New Year's goals, shout them out in the comments. I would love to see what they are. We already learned what Carlos's goals are. So best of luck to you, Carlos. If you need like accountability buddies, we're friends on Instagram. Hit me up, dude. That's the other thing. If you do want to chase something that's more concrete, get an accountability buddy to hold you accountable. just to make sure that you stay on task. I'll give the comments a second. If you wanted to shout out what your goals are, shout them out in the comments. Love to hear them. Always need that hug support. Yes, we do. Even if they're virtual hugs, we can always use them. Excuse me. All right. Not gonna lie, I like keeping these live streams to like less than 2 hours. So I think I'm gonna keep doing that moving forward. And keep hitting you up with those Clip Studio Paint tips and tricks and things. Hopefully those help. If you have any further questions, hit me up on social media. I'm more than happy to help out. I think with that, I'll wrap it up for today. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I hope you got a kick out of watching me draw and me ramble about Dragon Ball Fighters off and on for a little bit. Best of luck with your New Year's goals. Best of luck with the holidays. I know that the holiday season is looking very different this year, but please take care of yourselves and maintain social distance, especially with everything going on right now. Like, keep your distance this year so that next year you can get together. And Jessica says, bye. Have a wonderful weekend. It was fun as always. Thank you for joining us, Jessica. It was good to see you again. All right. I'm going to wrap this up here for today. Please take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Keep your distance. Wear a mask. Take care of yourselves. Hit me up in the comments because I would love to hear from you. And thank you so much for watching. You are awesome.